Many of these people are scared that the mob will turn on them too.
I don't think they think in those terms because they don't think of themselves as someone who could... What is happening?
He's wearing a beanie.
Oh, okay.
He's donned the beanie.
Okay,
listen.
I want to conform, Tim.
I have some friends.
And then again, it happens. and then Jones does something like it's just drunk out of his mind, beat red in the face, wearing a beanie, clearly not comfortable. I was gonna watch Alex Jones and Tim Pool because of course I was, because that's the kind of stuff I live for. That to me was just like the ultimate. I was so very excited. Turns out it got taken down off the internet. It's been removed. It doesn't exist. Yeah. So buttons. Timcast IRL. YouTube deleted our Alex Jones episode. Yeah. What's going on here? Is this the inherent bias I keep hearing about? Is this it? Was it all true? Were they right the whole time? Is that what we're witnessing?
YouTube deleted the podcast last night with Alex Jones and Michael Malice.
Yep.
For a community guidelines violation because of things Alex Jones said. It was one thing, but I think it came up in a couple different instances. And so it's gone. And all the clips, and I'm currently talking with Google to figure out what we need to do to make it good to appear on YouTube. And they're going to get back to me when they get back to me because they deleted it.
Damn. It's gone. That sucks. You know what I had heard about this? Because we only watched a little bit of it. But I heard that Tim Pool actually was doing a bit more due diligence. I know, color me shocked. But apparently he was actually pushing back on, like, you know, when Alex Jones would be like, and then, you know, they're Satanists, they're cannibal pedophiles. They cut off people's penises and they brew them into this fine stew. It's kind of a yerba mate tea, if you will, Tim. And then they drink that and it's what gives them erections. It's the only reason that they're out. It's like, all right, come on. I gotta push back against this. Just a little bit here. Okay. Let me look this up. We're going to Google. Turns out that you're full of shit.
Tea coming in hard.
And we got lucky. We didn't get a guideline strike. I say lucky, but it's kind of ridiculous. You know, when it comes to Alex Jones, they are just sitting there waiting with their finger over the button. And then he says one thing and boom, they nuke the show. So that was we had, I think, a total of live viewership was over 1 million. It was like 1.3 million. And then actual views on the podcast itself from people who watched it was over 1 million as well. So it was I think it was our biggest show, most concurrence, most views. But, it's Alex Jones. So they got rid of it. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and we'll talk a bit about censorship and all that stuff. And
so, by the way, because things kind of got really out of control in America. I mean, it got out of control everywhere, but specifically in America, things got really out of control. There's a combination of two things. One, the pandemic, the whole COVID stuff. That just got completely out of control. America. I mean, we always talk about, China is a very populous country. India is a very populous country, but still, man. Over, what is it? It's 370 million. Is that the current number of people who live in America? That's a lot of human beings. That's a very populous country, and they have 5% of the world's population, but they have 25% of the world's deaths, 25% of the world's cases. I think yesterday y'all broke the record for 200,000 in a single day. USA is about 340 million. Okay, so does that. So that all takes place, and then on top of that, on top of the entire debacle, we got the misinformation being spread around. All right, we got YouTube, Facebook, all of these organizations just pushing this stuff out on a regular basis. What's weird to me is about Jones. He openly admitted that everything he says on the show is an act. Well, yeah, it's to sell the vitamins. It's part of the vitamin pipeline. All right, it was only 181,000. Sorry, 181,000. So all these social media companies, your Twitters, all right. Your Twitters, your Facebooks, your YouTubes, they were all like, all right, we're going to start pushing back against misinformation on COVID, especially when it comes to the misinformation being put forward by these people, by Joe Rogan, one of the most popular podcasts in the world, by Alex Jones, one of the most popular alternative medias in the world, by Tim Pool, one of the more popular YouTube channels for the true news. So they were like, we're going to start pushing back. So yeah. When Alex Jones comes on your show and he talks about how it's a Chinese conspiracy, oh, thanks, Cladson. Welcome back. Talks about how it's a Chinese conspiracy, that it was the Wuhan virus, that it was made in a lab, things of that nature. You might get toasted. That's not because it's like
surf hype, 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 surf hype.
Oh, there's some After Effects there. There's some slight After Effects. Yeah, but yeah, at the end of the day, Mr. Poole, that's what happened here. It's not a surprise. It's not a shock.
Hopefully, I mean, it's actually really cool. We have backup internet that's satellite, and it's not very good, but it appears to be working fairly well. And at a certain point, we're going to try and test our hardline internet again to see if it works. And if we do, then we'll switch back. But whatever, man. You know what? We're chilling. That's about it. Because yesterday was crazy. I was up way late. People were yelling at me. Oh my word! And then they got deleted, and you know. But anyway, I'm hanging out with some people. But you guys can introduce yourselves. You go. You introduce yourself. Yeah.
I'm up first. I'm Richie McGinnis.
Heck yeah.
At Richie McGinnis on Twitter, RichiemcGinniss, and I'm the chief video director at The Daily Caller.
So you film.
Yes,
riots.
we've been filming a lot of riots recently, given that it's been a blind spot in the corporate media's coverage. So
I'm glad things changed. You know, Tim Poole, he had Vosh on, and yeah, he's been having a bit of trouble deciding what kind of a centrist he wants to be. Right? He's got to be balanced, as all things should be. But at the same time, he's kind of still interested in bringing on the Daily Caller. And I love how this intro is basically like, well, I'm gonna tell you what I think right out of the gates. They're riots. They're rioters. All right. They're thugs. They're thugs destroying our cities.
Good to meet you.
Oh, hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kalen Dalmeda. I'm a co-founder of Scriber News, Scriber Media at large. But what I do also is very similar to what Richie does. I've been covering riots, and like Richie said, they've been blind in the media. And you can follow me at Twitter, or on Twitter, FROMKALEN, or you can follow Scriber News, SCRIBERR News, on Instagram, all the places you would normally be on social media.
You can put the plasma ball back.
We'll find one mood lord.
I'm Alex Jones.
Oh, there he is.
I want to tell you.
He's doing an Alex Jones impression.
Alex Jones, Ian. That's nice.
So we
but exit stage left. Oh wow, that one was too spicy. Can't even impersonate Alex Jones anymore.
Halfway through, I was like, I don't even need to say anything, man. I just
enjoying
watch you guys go to town.
It was Michael and Alex.
He never says anything anymore, though. He just gets shut down. Tim Poole is not there for Moonlord.
To mines, because I know you'd said that
It's on BitChute.
or it's already on BitChute, but we should just proliferate the thing. You had said like they can bust you for doing something off platform that violates the terms.
Off platform behavior.
When it comes to like Sargon, who actually got busted for that, the guy that interviewed him didn't get busted. So if Alex did something off platform, it wouldn't affect us.
That's the BS thing. Like they gave me a warning because of something he said. But they told me I could interview him. Now I'm responsible for what a person being interviewed says. Or it was a long form conversation discussion.
See, so I have it here. I've got the BitChute. I've got the bit shut. But if I play this, I can't upload this later to the YouTubes because I too will be roasted. But I'm reporting on it. It's for science.
Guy, Alex Jones, who is on my show right now. But here's the thing. Listen, I realized if I brought Alex Jones in here, YouTube would probably just ban me outright. So I thought, well, how do I guarantee that happens? I brought on Michael Malice as well, just to make sure that we have that extra degree of, I guess, chaos.
Kim Jong-un's boyfriend.
That's true.
And now Michael.
All I want to say is
Strong
I'm
start.
very envious. My house is 4,000 square feet. Yours is like a spaceship. And the smell in the woods when I pulled up here.
Apparently, he has like a McMansion. Apparently, it's monstrous. He's got a skate park underneath it. That's what Vaush was saying. He's got an actual skate park underneath it. He's built it. Like he's living the multi-million-dollar empire dream.
It smells like heaven out in your yard, dude. What's going on out there?
We're in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's very
elevated by water. It's the perfect position. But you know what?
So how'd you find this cool place?
Zillow.
But I mean, seriously, it's awesome.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah. Why are you laughing, Michael? You
Because it's off and running.
it's off and running.
It's like
Well, we're going to start the conversation.
Okay. Everybody, subscribe, hit the like button. But I guess share. Because we've got Michael Malice and Alex Jones,
Yes, we do.
and of course Ian.
What
We
up?
got a new camera setup.
We're going to
so
talk about magnetics.
We do.
I think we might get crazy with it.
There's Ian.
Look,
Lydia,
actual floating succulent.
We do
we
have a
can't
floating
really
succulent.
show. There's no camera
I
angle
wish
for
we
the.
could.
If you had a YouTube channel of just a floating succulent, trillions of views.
We have a levitating
right.
plant now, but we haven't set it up yet. It's like
It's
it's in
cool.
front of me. It's floating, but you can't see it.
I've seen the documents.
But you know
You
what?
see the floating plant.
We've got a lot to talk about.
When you die, go to heaven, there's a floating plant.
I'm not going. I assure you
not going
that will
to
not be
heaven.
happening. I've
Okay,
got a
okay.
nice townhouse picked out downstairs.
The pearly gates, and it's not St. Michael, it's a floating plant.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to be my maid.
We've already like as we're getting ready for the show, I told everybody like we're gonna have this big guest. We can't.
But I'm actually an Alex Jones impersonator.
Yeah, it's
So
not
you're
really
You're not
Alex.
going to get banned. Sure, the Earth has problems. We should be clean. They're telling us give up our will, give up our life force for them, roll over and die. That's all this is. You suck, you're evil, you're bad, die. I remember the ads everywhere like Ishmael, the truth. Humans are bad. Ishmael, the gorilla, tells us kill ourselves.
That wasn't the ad.
No, I heard it out on the radio.
Okay. Is he referring to the story of B or the original Ishmael? Because they're great books, by the way. If you haven't read them, check them out. They're really good. And yeah, it is about a talking gorilla, and it just basically explains how the world is a unified homeostasis, and that we need to maintain balance. Not like balance to the forest. The idea that like if there's a population of animals and they grow to a certain size, the population of the animals will usually level out based on the resources available to it. The same experiment can be done if you have a cage and you fill it with mice or rats, and you limit the amount of food. The population too will rise and fall based on the amount of food available, whereas humans just continue to plunder. And plunder and plunder and plunder. And that's what we do. We just continue to excavate and grow and use every available resource until we all die. So that's the purpose of the book.
That's scary stuff.
Well, that's what Antifa does. They're saying that our rally on Sunday with all these libertarian, conservative, free speech groups down by the White House going to march to the Supreme Court. They're literally saying, Antifa's like, there's a Nazi rally. No, there's not Nazis there. I mean, we're not Nazi collaborators. We didn't work with the Nazis like certain people that fund Antifa. No, but they're just saying it, and some people believe it, and then it's a green light to attack us.
One of the quotes in my book, which drives people like this crazy, is more white supremacists died fighting the Nazis than did urban feminists. All those boys from the South weren't exactly fighting for equality of the races.
There's a video I just showed Alex before we did the show. It's called Rap News number 6. It's from 2010.
This is the first 17 minutes. There's already so much yikes. It's a lot more yikesy than I thought it was going to be.
And we could be facing the worst depression since the 1930s. But while the outcome is likely, it's not unavoidable. To achieve a better outcome, the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies.
Wait, hold on. From all aspects. All aspects.
All aspects.
They're not.
And what he says
there's more.
You've got to go into debt and own nothing, and I will control you.
Let me keep reading. Let me keep reading. He says,
all these like super rich multimedia conglomerates, they have their own like empires, like all of them. Each one of these, like both of them, have their own empires, and at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, no, this is again, it's going to be about the globalists. That's who's they're trying to control you. And if they say that you should actually have we should higher taxation for rich people like us, that's control. That's government control right there.
All aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Every country, from the United States to China, must participate. And every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism. There are many reasons to pursue a great reset, but the most urgent is COVID-19. Having already led to hundreds of thousands of deaths, the pandemic represents one of the worst public health crises in recent history. And with casualties still mounting in many parts of the world, it's far from over. This will have serious long-term consequences for economic growth, public debt, employment, and human well-being. According to the Financial Times, global government debt has already reached its highest level in peacetime. Moreover, unemployment is skyrocketing in many countries. In the U.S., for example, 1 in 4 workers have filed for unemployment since mid-March, with new weekly claims far above historic highs. The International Monetary Fund expects the world economic the world economy to shrink by
Wait, hold
3%.
on, sorry, we gotta pause here because they're making it illegal for you to go to your job,
Yeah,
and
what
they're saying,
happened in mid-March?
look, all these unemployment numbers are through the roof.
Yeah. So what exactly
And it was
happened
Democratic
in
governors.
mid-March?
Yeah.
It wasn't-
that shut everything
Well, let's
down?
expand. It never ends. They admit that it's, if you actually read it deeper, he says it's a 10-year, 100-year, it's to save the earth, cut carbon. He says we're getting rid of all small businesses. We're never going to stop. So he's up there saying we want to fix this, do what we say. We want to get you back to work, but it doesn't do it. It's a clampdown to get you into debt.
Okay, so I think I'm getting to the parts that probably got him toasted from COVID. He's probably posting a whole bunch of COVID lies. And that's what gets you roasted from YouTube.
Hoax.
When I say hoax, the response to COVID, it's a real virus. It's man-made, so they can track it as.
Boom, right there, roasted, toasted. That I can't even play this section. I'm going to skip past it because this will get you blown up on YouTube. Obviously, you're spreading lies. Yeah, I called this, by the way. I was like, I bet you at a certain point in this interview, he starts talking about how COVID was made by the Chinese, how it's a hoax, how it's a weaponized virus. I mean, is it all things and nothing? Is it the alpha and the omega? Is it basically like, holy shit?
I just think it should be a firing squad. I agree with Bill Gates.
No, you can't say that.
But
man. Come on.
here's the thing. Bill Gates says you'll get rid of all.
Do you like
cyber-
Apple that much?
Oh,
No,
man.
Mr.
Bill
and
Gates
respond
conspiracy theories.
to your incredibly important question of where.
Yeah, it's like Alex Jones is spreading lies. That's what's wrong. That's why it's not like there's big tech. All right, this is not them picking a liberal bias. What even is Alex Jones? All right, he's like an ANCAP unicorn horrible person. I don't even know what you'd call him. Is there a political ideology that is Jones? It's Jonestown. Maybe that's it. He is everything. Like he's Dreg. He's all things on the political compass, except mostly the shitty ones. He's just like always in the shitty corners.
So they're not
Right.
scared of the left. They're just scared of being an individual.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
So,
right. There you go
so they're
with the
within
thing.
the mob, and they're worried
That's why I'm
about.
joining it
well,
right now.
I'm saying many of these people are scared that the mob will turn on them too.
I
I'm
don't
not saying
think
all
they
of
think
them.
in those terms because they don't think of themselves as someone who could. What is happening?
He's wearing a beanie.
Oh, okay.
Version.
He's
wearing a-
donned
he's
the
wearing a
beanie.
Okay, do I get
Listen.
I want to conform, Tim.
I have some friends.
And then again, it happens. and then Jones does something like it's just drunk out of his mind, beat red in the face, wearing a beanie, clearly not comfortable.
And the
Give me the
strangest.
tinfoil. I'll wear one. It's even more famous.
You brought tinfoil just for this.
You had tinfoil.
We
You
have
took
it.
my
He's
tinfoil.
stealing our
No,
tinfoil.
it's tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
That's right.
Tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
Probably
Give me
it's
the
actually
tinfoil.
aluminum foil.
Give me the tinfoil.
That stuff probably works on some level.
Yeah, I'm done.
Aluminum foil. I
Yeah.
actually read something that
This
it,
is very
it, it,
famous.
it magnifies
Famous meme is not-
the radio waves because it bounces them around from underneath.
Wait. We got our
Just
tinfoil.
like-
Oh yes, the tinfoil
Why-
hat.
He's a meme factory. Like, come on, y'all are like you do some good memes. Not like this. This is just like unadulterated. Like no one does it fast and furious like this. Okay, how is he this good naturally? He's like it doesn't take anything. It's so low tier. Think about this. If I just grabbed aluminum right now and I crushed it up and put it on my head, you would be like, that's really cringe. It's pretty cringe, Lance. What are you doing? But Tim Pool, Alex Jones. Internet gold.
Who gave these guys my aluminum foil?
I don't know.
The hell?
My kitchen so we can
help.
bake
The hell?
cookies and barbecue
me.
I
chicken.
don't bother knowing their names.
Oh wow. Okay, that's cool.
Thank you, sir. I want that tinfoil hat put on
I'll tell you.
mantle.
I'll tell you this. You know, I think I've
Suddenly, I'm defeating your hate beam.
my hate beams.
Whoa.
Wait,
I think-
knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mary.
Very good.
Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones.
Oh my gosh, Michael. Who said you could tell
Tim,
jokes?
let's keep going.
Listen, I think I've said things over the past several years that Jones says crazy stuff. You went on the Rogan podcast and you were talking about animal hybrids and interdimensional beings and all this weird crazy
The
stuff.
animal
about
hybrids is real.
Yeah, chimeras.
Totally real, yeah.
Well, I
totally
understand chimerism is real and the research they're doing is real, but you were talking about like them trying to fuse people with like cow DNA to protect them from 5G or some ridiculous.
No. They're trying to grow humanoids for organ harvesting inside cows in utero. It's like 25 years
They're
old.
doing it with monkeys.
Yeah,
too.
they're trying to grow human organs in animals.
Yeah.
How you liking this
Yeah,
hat?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not new.
Right.
Tim,
Yeah.
You're wearing tinfoil.
try to
Tinfoil.
It's looking
So
quite
I
good.
actually
like it.
read that what happens is the radio waves can still go up and then they bounce around inside your head.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
So,
makes sense.
But
He doesn't look
listen. I'll tell you what's getting more and more difficult.
They're moving so close to the sun here right now that it's really hard to discern which parts they think are jokes, because I can't really detect all the jokes, which parts they genuinely believe, which parts are supposed to be real. It's like it's kind of like static. Like, you know how they say that static, like, what is it, 1% of static in your static TV when you see a television turn on an RF TV, that is actually a remnant of the Big Bang, but it's impossible to discern it or see it. That's pretty much this. That's what we're exploring right now.
There was a point where I think Joe Rogan posted something where he was like, people owe Alex Jones an apology. I think it was like Epstein stuff or something, and then I was like, you know, when I heard the stuff you were saying on Alex Jones, when Alex Jones said the stuff on Joe Rogan, and this was
tinfoil upsetting you?
No,
No, it looks great from here.
When was that episode? Was it 2019 when you went on live with Joe after a long time, and you were saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and I'm like, look, if you come to me and talk about satanic cults and these weird practices, I think you're going over the top. But if you talk about interdimensional stuff, then you're going way over the top. I think you're shaking your head at me. I think the idea is sure. Listen. I think the ideas are fun. I think talking about it's fun. But what is getting weird is the fact that we had a UN doctor say no more lockdowns. You can't do this. We had. I think it was.
Right, let's get serious.
Well, hold on.
I'm taking the tinfoil off.
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm not kidding.
We had the world.
I want that. I'm going to put it on my mantle.
No, can
now
we
we're being serious.
This is the very UN is coming out saying don't do lockdowns 3 months ago, but now they're saying they're going to do it. It's incredibly dangerous, and
again, spreading COVID lies. So that was him leveling up. He had to prepare for that. Had to assume his ultimate form. Again, I got to fast forward past all this. It's just going to get this entire channel roasted.
I know.
The third,
seriously.
there, right there. You were still reverse. Trump.
Yeah,
this.
but you see this? It's deemed not credible by news.
Okay, click on it. Maybe it has a link to somewhere that is credible.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
That's
often
good,
what I do for source.
Yeah.
You know. So this story from the Middle East Monitor says the administration of U.S. presidential candidate Joe Biden will reverse a number of President Donald Trump's controversial policies on Palestine and the broader Middle East, according to Kamala Harris. The Democratic Party candidate for vice president made numerous pledges in an interview over the weekend with the Arab American News. Responding to a question about U.S. foreign policy in Palestine and the broader Middle East, Harris said, quote, "Joe and I also believe in worth and value of every Palestinian and every Israeli, and we will work to ensure that Palestinians and Israelis enjoy equal measures of freedom, security, prosperity, and democracy."
Go to the Syria part, though. That's just, double talk.
Speaking about broader Middle East, Harris said that in Syria, a Biden-led administration will once again stand with civil society and pro-democracy partners in Syria and help advance a political settlement where the Syrian people have a voice. We know what that's code for.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah. And you know why.
Double check that quote. Maybe this isn't
They want those oil gas lines.
Of course.
Right. The Qatar
A
Turkey
misinformation screen?
in 2009, I believe it was, The Guardian ran an article saying that the U.S. was planning a military intervention in Syria over the Qatar-Turkey pipeline. What had happened was, and I'm not the expert journalist on this, so definitely fact check me on this. The U.S. wanted to offset the Russian gas monopoly, Gazprom. It goes through Ukraine. So they wanted to tap into a natural gas well in Qatar and then bring that line up through Syria and Turkey. Syria said, we will not do this because our ally Russia doesn't want us to.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, destabilization, the U.S. supports the rebels, and now we're constantly trying to, go after Assad. Not saying Assad's a saint or anything like that. The plan from the Russian side was for Iran to tap into the same natural gas and then ship it around through Iraq into Europe, strengthening the Russian monopoly on natural gas in Europe. And so this is, once again, resources, fossil fuels, leads to war and conflict.
And can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
You, me,
That's
Mr. Conspiracy Theory, Alex Jones. Everything we've said today, we've all said, assume we're misinformation. Double check it. Google it for yourself. I was talking about Ishmael.
But CNN doesn't do that.
Dude,
it's all authoritative. Like,
they never
this is
say,
the
look,
voice of God.
Right.
They never say
No,
that.
quite the opposite.
You can't just ramble off in your show and say go do the research for yourselves, because I'm sure most people will come back and be like, yeah, that's complete nonsense. But you're just hoping there's a percentage that are gonna be like, well, I guess it's true. I mean, no one would lie about that. I feel like he's called my bluff, kind of. Did they just conveniently forget that the Syria problem came out of the 2011 Arab Spring? No, they're not going to talk about the Arab Spring Revolution. No, they don't want to talk about the Muslim Brotherhood. No, please. Google it. All right? What's bothering me? Just Google it. You'll figure it out for yourself.
I didn't get on a plane to talk to the masses.
These people were screaming at the Democrats for what they had done, and they didn't care about Trump. They didn't care about the Republicans. Now, most of these people, not all of them, because some of them flipped and voted Trump,
Some
are now cheering for the very man they protested for 10 years.
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because we're all old enough to remember 5 years ago, Black Lives Matter was presented as a joke by the corporate media. And they're like, look at these silly people. They're ruining things for us. They show up at restaurants, ruining people's lunches and brunches. This is ridiculous. And now I tweeted this out. I think you retweeted it. I said, we're 5 minutes away from these riots, 24 hours, these riots getting corporate support.
Yep.
And within minutes, all the corporations like Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos does not. He cares about black people as much as he cares about white people as a resource to exploit. And now it's become normalized.
Oh, what? Are we going to talk about capitalism? My ears are ringing. Interesting.
How did we get, when I'm talking to my friends,
It's the globalists.
and they're like, we're
Damn it. Damn it. That lasted like a minute. That was a minute. No, not even a minute. That was like 20 seconds between when he was like, yeah, I mean, he sees human beings as a commodity. It's almost as if they all do. Corporations as a whole, they just see people as expendable pawns in their giant Ponzi scheme known as capitalism. That's basically where we live ourselves. Yeah, no, totally. That's it. Spot on. Yep. It's the globalists. I was like, oh man, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. We were enlightened for 20 seconds of this entire show. Anyways, this got taken down, I think, for pretty obvious reasons, as you've seen. It's just Alex Jones spouting conspiracy theories about COVID-19, lying about COVID-19, saying that COVID-19 is a hoax, that it was created in a Chinese lab, that it's part of the globalist conspiracy, that it's basically it's exaggerated, it's supposed to shut down the economy, all this kind of stuff, because, of course, he wants the economy chugging along to keep making him vitamins, because he's selling the vitamins to the people. He needs to be able to produce the vitamins so you too can consume and buy the vitamins.
He runs
It's a thing.
casinos and hotels and golf courses. All he knows is if people ain't doing good, he ain't making money.
Yeah.
So Trump wants
True.
roaring 20s,
That's
man.
true.
Rah, rah, rah. So you can say he's bad. He's like an archetype. He wants roaring.
so what you know, let's say
Hey, you want Davos Group shut down, depression, lockdown. You want Trump roaring 20s.
let's say, you know, we're currently on track as it stands for Joe Biden to become inaugurated as the next president, and
Also
there-
known as Sexy Devil.
and there's plans for another lockdown. His advisor has said it. You know, it seems particularly
An
likely.
extreme lockdown.
What do people do if next year it's 10 times worse? Well,
It's never
us
going to
stop, let us
end.
stop.
They're never going to end.
Chris Hayes said something to the effect on Twitter that people need to emotionally prepare themselves for another lockdown.
I think what Chris Hayes should take his own advice, because I don't think he and his fellow people are emotionally ready for the response if there's another lockdown.
No, I agree. Here's the deal. Chris Hayes has no power. So at an elemental level, as a psychic rapist, he wants to lock you down. It's true.
How is
No,
it
it's true.
rape if you're
No. He wants to make you stay in your house, make you go bankrupt.
And then he says something like that, and I'm like, oh my god, Alex Jones, you're one of the most naturally gifted entertainers in human history. What a strange creature you are. What an absolute strange creature you are. Wow. Huh.
Make you commit suicide as his leftist power North Korea trip, man. And it's BS.
Chris Hayes wants that.
Rachel Maddow wearing glasses.
I feel like these people are more just, you know,
Rachel
like
Maddow's Rachel Maddow wearing
No.
glasses.
Klaus Schwab and the UN want an endless lockdown to train us on world government and to bankrupt things, and I say they burn in hell.
I think that
You're gonna burn in hell.
here's what I see happening with
Twisted
media.
Sister.
Sponsored sale.
Just very dry. So the media allows most conversations to flow in one direction when it comes to COVID.
Yes.
That the end is
Only
nigh.
bad news,
We must
yeah.
lock down.
He definitely handles this a lot different. Like, is Tim Pool notoriously sober? He feels like someone who's notoriously sober to me, because I feel like Joe Rogan gets fucked up. Like, he gets fucked up when Alex Jones is on. So he's kind of having a good time, even though a lot of it's really weird and anti-Semitic. But at the same time, he's like, well, this is great ratings. I'm just gonna have my whiskeys, smoke a couple blunts, blast off. You know, see where we go from this. But Tim Pool seems a lot more like, well, that was strange. That was weird. That was weird of you to say. Anyways, on to our next point.
Yeah.
Oh, record cases, but not deaths. It's like
But
record
so-
cases.
Because if there's any kind of dispute about paths, then you can't.
So, by the way, the record case is not deaths. The way it works is that you reach a certain point where you run out of things like respirators in hospitals, and then you get to max capacity. The same thing happened in places like Europe and Spain and France, at which point when you get past that, then the death rate just spikes. And you know that because that's starting to happen in certain states. There are states where the hospitals are at max capacity. They can no longer house more people, so they have to choose whether or not someone will die or live based on the amount of available respirators for COVID-19. That's always been the problem. That's what all the scientists had been telling you from the start. That's why this is all incredibly serious, and why you have to take this incredibly seriously. That's why. Because yes, it seems like a meme. It seems like, well, I mean, we can sacrifice grandma for the stonks, but then at that point, yes, you do actually have to choose which grandmas live or die based on by virtue of how many respirators you have available. And then there are still young people who get seriously affected by this. People in their mid-30s who are suddenly having strokes. Like, it's a very mysterious disease. We've never seen when it happens when it reaches these kind of levels. And yes, the death rate is skyrocketing now. Wow. This is 3 hours. Tim Pool really lets like the big shows run long.
Tuesday now.
Wow.
Yeah, he,
Go and so like getting someone to travel outside.
that's like crossing the streams. That's
Yeah,
usually bad.
It's not gonna work.
No, it's cool, but
Unless you're fighting Congressman Gozer.
Yeah.
Do you think Gozer was hot? I've had this argument with friends.
Gozer.
Yeah.
Oh, the actress. The
Yes.
woman?
The tranny.
What?
Well, that's
But-
a hot.
You can't say that on YouTube.
Well, that's a new word you can't say.
That's another word.
Do you think
The
Gozer was hot?
transgender Gozer. I would marry Gozer.
Gozer was hot.
You always forget, eh? And then you forget. You're like, wow, he's so funny. And then you're, oh yeah, fuck, he's a massive transphobe. He's a horrible human being. He lies about kids being dead. He lies about kids and crisis actors and parents faking it, and then they commit suicide because again, the harassment they get from Alex Jones. Oh yeah, he's horrible. He's just a horrible human being. Just the worst, the absolute worst.
That's the new word I can't say. Oh, sorry, the social justice warrior Tim Pool. Tim Pool strikes again. Here we go, PC police. Oh yeah, look at him. He's like a happy little seal. Look at that. Look at it. Tim Pool's ready. Oh, he's gonna dance for us now. He's gonna clap. Here we go. I can already hear him. E.
I think we're gonna end on that note. I don't know if this can get any better. That's one hell of a freeze frame. Wow. Tim, that's fantastic.
Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
To our gods, Amrath, Xander Forbes, we shall build temples in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we live to do your bidding. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Han Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. And to our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Veit, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Ali Menthal, Jimmy Big Nuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barrington, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ramon Acosta, and Ali Retta Jaffer. We salute you. Love you all. Peace.